Hey everyone, welcome to Network Special, the podcast where we talk about things that were only made to be played on television once or twice, but we're dredging them up again for no good reason. My name is Zachariah
And I'm Nathan Cheer.
What could be more adorable than a boy and his troll? In Fuzzbucket! A troubled teen befriends a troubled troll. Or maybe not a troll, but a possum. Or a rat. No, it's a possum. Or something.
And today we're going to be talking about a little movie that appeared in 1986 called Fuzzbucket.
Old Fuzzbucket. And if you are currently subscribed to Disney Plus, you can watch I guess what I'm guessing is a 1080p full 4K 8K remastered version of Fuzzbucket right there on the service.
Wait, I thought you said that you couldn't find it.
Let me see. let me verify that real quick.
Because I watched it. We both watched it on YouTube, right?
Yes, but I don't have a subscription to hold on, let me see if it's in there.
Oh, you don't have a... Why did I think you had a subscription?
I don't know.
Because we were talking about it?
So there's a website. Someone's asking, what is Fuzzbucket on Disney Plus? It's decider.com. They're 1986 Fuzzbucket Disney Plus.
Okay, so you can watch a remastered version. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
but it has not been ripped from Disney Plus just yet. So the way we watched it was someone posting a VHS version of it on
right.
On
we
YouTube.
Watched it complete with commercials as it was broadcast on NBC, right?
The Sunday night. It said the Disney Sunday night movie. Now there are so many Disney Sunday night movie names. Like there's the Wonderful World of Disney, there's the Magical World of Disney,
right?
The Disney Sunday Night Movie, and I'm not sure how many networks they went through, or if this is all the same network, just different names for different eras.
Okay.
But in the rip that we watched, it says the Disney Sunday Night Movie, and what network was that on?
I thought it was on NBC, but that's also my child brain. This was obviously before they owned ABC, so it wasn't important.
Let's see. The Disney Sunday Night Movie is from 1986 to 1988, and it did have a commercial for Good Morning America. Looks like ABC. Oh, so it was not NBC during this time frame.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. CBS. Whoa, there's like a weird, it could be NBC or CBS, because CBS is 81 to 86. Oh no, ABC 86 to 88. So I think it's ABC. It just depends. Like there's a part where it's CBS in 1986, but it's probably ABC.
Okay.
What's Good Morning America on?
I thought Good Morning America was NBC. Oh no, today is NBC.
Okay, so Good Morning America.
Because of course, at Universal Studios, you can visit the Today Cafe, a restaurant themed to the morning talk show Today.
Oh, that is right. And I think there's a Good Morning America place at Hollywood Studios, I think.
You can ride the Good Morning America ride.
Yeah, that's what they're putting in. They took out the Great Movie ride, and now it's the Good Morning America ride.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
God.
Fuzzbucket. These Disney movie, no matter what network it was on at the time, was a huge
ABC.
Deal for me on ABC. Okay. I really looked forward to these movies, and I have vague memories of all of them. I don't know if any of them stick out to me that much, but even though I had never seen Fuzzbucket, I remember seeing ads for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not ever see it as a child, but I remember the ads pretty vividly because Fuzzbucket, when you see him is hard to forget.
Oh, he's disgusting.
This movie is about a disgusting little
rat boy
dwarf that looks like a possum, that looks like if you shaved the face off an Ewok. It's gross. It's a gross little creature we're going to be talking about today.
I think that, surely they played this on Disney Channel. Like at some point, like a redo of it or something. Because I think I've seen this, but I didn't always get to watch the Sunday night stuff because we were always at church.
At night?
Yeah, we had night church.
You had a very religious family.
Whenever the doors were open, right? I think I must have seen. I'm like you. Like I know I've seen commercials. I've seen for sure this Fuzzbucket guy, but I don't remember watching it in detail.
Well, this is not like a remembered, beloved Disney movie, as far as I know. Even if you go onto, are you on the IMDb page by any chance?
No.
If you go into the IMDb for Fuzzbucket and you look at the main picture, which is, as I found, is the only poster style picture that somebody has put together or Disney has put together. It's a cast picture, but it's of Fuzzbucket, the mom and the dad, the main little kid, and then the writer and director of Fuzzbucket is in the upper right hand, Mick Garris. And then the gentleman on the left who looks like a bee-stung James Spader, I don't know who that is. It could be a person who was just visiting the set.
Was it the overprotective father of that young boy? He's like, I must be in all press photos. Did you look through the photos on IMDb?
I think I just saw the main ones. I was just seeing like stills from the movie. Is there a gold image?
Later on when we get to one scene, our listener can go. That's the old classic podcast joke. Number one. And you can go and actually see this horrid scene that we will be talking about later. But
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. That picture is also, I think, the one that Disney used for their card when they were advertising all the little things that'll be on the show. Like on their Twitter feed recently, all the stuff that's on Disney Plus.
Oh, they were hyping Fuzzbucket?
Yes, it's actually tweet Disney Plus, Fuzzbucket 1986. It's listed as one of the things they will be having.
So it's The Mandalorian. It's live action Lady and the Tramp.
Mr. Boogedy.
Fuzzbucket. And Rock and Roll Mom.
And then, and something called Case Busters, 1986. Same year. Yeah, a lot of stuff from that year is on Disney Plus. It's going to be a nice gold mine for our podcast, honestly.
Sure, or people who like to be really bored in the middle of the movie.
Marlo, my daughter, was enjoying this, so if you're
that person,
yeah, if you're my 9-year-old daughter, you'll love this.
Well, we should say that my favorite thing, hands down, about watching, I hope to God that when you're watching these on Disney Plus, that these are included.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes, if it's not, wonderful. It will be so sad.
It's wonderful. So way back whenever when Disneyland was first being built, Walt Disney decided he was going to start a TV show called Disneyland, and it was basically going to act as a giant commercial for this theme park that he was building. So they would show Disney cartoons, they would show Disney movies, Davy Crockett, and a lot of kids in my parents' generation were exposed to Walt Disney because he would introduce every movie or cartoon, and Walt Disney on camera really did have a nice grandfatherly tone to him.
Oh, the best. It's just like very calming, and even though he had that smoker's voice, it was still kind of soothing.
Right. And I know that personally, like in real life, Walt Disney was not the most chill guy.
Especially if you were a part of a union.
Or a communist.
Yeah.
The unchill part of Walt would come out.
Yeah.
But in terms of on the show, he really does have this soothing presence to him. By the way, do you know how old Walt Disney was when he died?
Was he in his 70s?
He was 65.
60s, okay.
When he died, he looks like he is in his early 80s by today's standards. I mean, I know he was working through the Depression and breaking Union Buster kneecaps, but...
Well, if you look at... I mean, people back then always looked older. I mean, if you look at yearbooks, everyone looked like they were in their 30s.
Yes, hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Uncle Walt is this... That's how beloved he was. People would call him Uncle Walt on the show. So, in the 1980s, kind of in the same way when they wanted to revive this tradition of Disney on television and probably also to promote Epcot Center being built, they decided they were going to have their current CEO and president step into the Uncle Walt role. And the person who is CEO is Michael Eisner.
And he was really more of an Uncle Chester, if you ask me.
Michael Eisner looks like he has a gun trained on him at all times. During these introductions, it is this awkward man. How would you talk about Michael Eisner's delivery?
Like he's giving a corporate presentation.
But he's in the Christmas skit.
Yeah, at church.
You know what I mean? Right. Like they gave him some roles and he's like, oh, all right, I guess I'll let my hair down a little bit and I'll do this comedy bit.
I'll pull back my hairline.
Because it's Michael Eisner, but he always looks uncomfortable and he's interacting with people in Mickey Mouse suits.
You know, was this the world's first spoiler alert?
Michael Eisner's introductions to telling the whole plot of a movie beforehand.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say there's no way a bicycle could fly. But in tonight's movie, Max, you'll see that maybe they can. Goofy, you're messing everything up.
That's what it's like. It is like the premise of the movie. The fact that, you know, they set it up like this kid, he has this imaginary friend named Fuzzbucket. But at first, you know, don't know if he does. You know,
Nathan, why should we explain this whenever I have this queued up on my phone just for the introduction? And I can cut in the actual audio later. Please. Let's please listen to this wonderful, wonderful introduction starring Michael Eisner and Mickey Mouse. They are walking into a movie set of a treehouse that we're going to see in today's movie.
And introducing.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Please, Nathan, one step at a time. Walking around.
Great music.
Good evening, and
Michael Eisner finds his mark.
Disney Sunday movie. Mickey and I are here on stage 4 in front of the treehouse that was used in tonight's movie, Fuzzbucket. It was in this very treehouse that a young boy and his invisible friend, Fuzzbucket, spent hour after hour talking and playing. The more the boy would tell his family and schoolmates about his invisible friend, the less they would believe him. Now that's...
All right. Now, one thing to note is that the Mickey Mouse costume, as it is today, looks pretty good. Like they've really gotten the eyes down to a science to where no matter where Mickey is looking, it looks as though he's looking at something, right? There's a little like remote, I guess, where the mouth will move and the eyes will blink. This is not that level of costume. This is Mickey Mouse just dead-eyed. Unless he is looking directly down the barrel of the lens, it looks like he has a 1,000-yard stare, like he's remembering being in the shit in Nam. And he is obviously shorter than Michael Eisner, who I think is fairly tall. So whenever Mickey looks over to nod at his agreement with Michael's statements, he's just kind of like staring at his chest, bobbing his head around.
Perfectly understandable. We all know that invisible friends like Fuzzbucket really don't exist.
I beg your pardon?
Mickey, can you believe this? Fuzzbucket.
Mickey, can you believe this? Fuzzbucket.
He is gobsmacked.
His acting in this moment has made me laugh. I've watched this movie twice now. I shouldn't have, but I
Wow.
I've laughed so hard at his surprised acting because Fuzzbucket, our disgusting, oily, pus-leaking little goblin, has suddenly appeared through the magic of television behind Michael, and Michael Eisner conveys surprise by kind of tossing his hands in the air, momentarily stepping off his mark, and then remembering that he has to stay in one place, looking down on the ground and putting his feet back where they should be.
Michael, I just can't tell you how long I wanted to meet the great Mickey Mouse. For years, I've watched him on the Mickey Mouse Club on television. I'll bet I've seen every one of his cartoons at least twice. I'm a real fan.
Well,
okay, Michael Eisner is acting. He is showing that he is listening to everything Fuzzbucket is saying, but he is acting like he is also in a Mickey Mouse outfit to where he is nodding from the waist. He's gesticulating.
And by the way, Fuzzbucket is talking so much more than he does in this freaking movie. He says more in this intro, and he says it in full sentences.
Yeah, well, this is because this is not Fuzzbucket from the movie. This is the actor portraying Fuzzbucket.
No, that's not the actor. That's like freaking like Winnie the Pooh's voice or something. You know, that's like a famous like Disney. That sounds like a famous Disney voice. The real Fuzzbucket is nowhere near that freaking voice.
Okay, you think that's true? Because I heard the voice and
You
I was
think
like,
they want to pay those union wages twice?
Huh. Well, because I heard it and I hadn't seen the movie yet, and I thought, oh, it's either Sterling Holloway or the guy who replaced Sterling Holloway who voiced Winnie the Pooh.
So
that's what he sounds like.
That's what I'm saying. But that's not the voice of Fuzzbucket in the movie, is it?
I thought it was. The voice of Fuzzbucket is Hal Smith, who did the voice of Owl in Winnie the Pooh. He played Milo, or he played Otis, the drunk on Andy Griffith's show.
So then it is the same. But why would, if he's so intimate with the character, why would he give him full English, where in the movie he talks like a caveman?
Well, I'm telling you, this is our behind the scenes look at the Fuzzbucket, the real creature who can speak in full English. He's not in character right now, Nathan.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
That's okay. You don't know how movies are made. That's fine.
I don't. I do not.
let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse, Fuzzbucket. Fuzzbucket, Mickey Mouse.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you, Fuzzbucket. It's my pleasure. I just loved your movie. You were terrific.
Wait, did he change voice? Now he sounds like Mickey, like he's doing a Mickey impression to his face.
That is, I guess that's like one of the people who did Mickey Mouse professionally, but it sounds terrible. It sounds like Michael Eisner was asked to do it. Oh, hey!
Okay.
It's
okay, hold
me,
on.
Mickey
So wait,
Mouse!
that's right. Okay, I got confused. That was Mickey talking and not
Yes.
Fuzzbucket. Okay.
Yes, that was Mickey. Oh, wow!
This is a really complicated story. I'm losing myself in it.
Okay. And,
All right.
Hey, guys, wait a second. No more talking. We really have to get on with the movie.
All right. Let's have lunch. I know a place
please,
that makes a
roll the
great
film.
cheese
We gotta
omelet.
start.
I'd
Roll the
love to.
Okay.
That's it. That's the whole introduction. It just is three people talking over each other.
You know what it was? I know. I thought that Fuzzbucket was saying he really wanted to meet Mickey Mouse. He was really excited to meet Mickey Mouse. But no, Mickey Mouse is super excited
They're
to
both
meet
huge fans. Yes.
Huge fans of each other. Fuzzbucket has not even been out yet. How can they be fans of each other?
He's just seen his work on the set. Mickey asks for dailies to be sent to his home every night. I'm reviewing everything. Nothing gets by me.
I'm Walt now.
That old creep's dead.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the actual freaking movie.
All right. I don't want to, but here we go. This movie, if you are a fan of filler, this movie is you're going to be rolling around in mud.
My gosh, this is like a 5-minute sketch. Like just spread out into a 45-minute
if you took
slog.
Out all the long drawn out wordless footage of people walking around, looking around a room, this would just be a pilot for the Fuzzbucket show.
No, you know what? I think I read that this was a pilot.
I'm sure it was. It seems like they're setting up characters that have no payoff.
Yeah, like when you go on YouTube, it says Fuzzbucket clip unsold TV pilot.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
Is this just like no? I can't find confirmation beyond what is listed on the title of this.
It seems like for all the money that all the money, I don't know. This thing looks pretty bad, but for the money, I presume that they soaked into building this Fuzzbucket costume. They were probably hoping that this thing would be a big hit so they could keep at the least making more Fuzzbucket movies.
That's like Eisner's like, this is the next Mickey. We got to get him in the room together.
I'm telling you,
he's going to pass on the mantle.
Will be huge. I hope I'm conveying my excitement.
My gosh. Okay. Let's move on.
Sorry.
I might have nightmares about this freaking guy tonight.
I realize we're 20 minutes into this podcast and we have not gotten to scene one.
We are the podcast version of this movie.
Oh God! So we open up. We're in a tree house.
Well, yes. I gotta say,
yeah,
I love the music in this freaking thing. Peter Bernstein, the son of Elmer Bernstein.
Is that true?
Yes, and they worked together. He was the guy who did Ghostbusters, as among other things. And you can kind of hear the influence.
I guess the main theme kind of sounds like the beginning of Neil Diamond's Coming to America. And then there's a part that sounds exactly like the song Feelings when the kid is sad. All the other music I can remember is just
So I'm referring mostly to the opening theme, which sounds like a lot of great 80s TV.
Yeah, sounds like that.
Yeah. So, but you're right. The majority of it is that trombone.
Fuzzbucket.
But especially when he is Fuzzbucket, before Fuzzbucket actually talks, whenever he's talking to Fuzzbucket responds, but it's with the music instead. So
it's If ever there was a Disney live action movie that needed to have a theme song written with the character's name as the song title, Like this needed a bad rock song called Fuzzbucket at the beginning. I think it's shameful they didn't make one. I'm not happy about it.
Well, they would have if it was a pilot. I mean, if it was an
so.
actual TV series.
Maybe. Or they just would have stuck with...
I'm laughing so hard because you are nailing it. Like, it's like you have memorized the soundtrack. And you're freaking like Michael Winslowing it so well.
This is like that clip where he did a whole Led Zeppelin song.
No.
All right. Fuzzbucket. We're in this kid's treehouse. Our hero, Chris. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry, our hero, Michael. Michael Gerber is his whole Christian name.
Chris Herbert is the actor, right?
The young actor. Who has a classic 80s child movie actor face. Mm-hmm. He kind of has a little stinker face and too much hair.
His sister is Robin Lively, of course.
Yes, the teen witch herself. Not given enough screen time.
A Disney staple. I agree.
He is, we think he's all alone in his treehouse. It sounds like he's doing his audition piece for Fuzzbucket, where he's just giving his side of the conversation in his treehouse to this being we can't see. He's just saying a lot of things like, I gotta go to school, Fuzzbucket. No, you don't get it. Adults make you go.
Do you think anyone has used this as their audition piece?
I'm going to start.
It would be the perfect showcase for you.
This poor kid, obviously never given an eye line for Fuzzbucket because he's just kind of staring around. Sometimes he's looking as though Fuzzbucket is his height. Sometimes he's looking at the floor like Fuzzbucket is laying down. And it's also, we should say, it's not the kind of Invisible Friend movie where things move around on their own or a door opens and closes. Like Fuzzbucket is coming in and out, but we can't see him. There's nothing.
No, they're setting this up for us to believe that this kid is
emotionally disturbed.
Yeah, or that he has an imaginary friend and he is just truly imaginary.
Well, yes, I would say it would be that simple, but whenever Michael goes down to eat dinner with his family and is still having conversations with this imaginary creature, the tone of all of this and the concern that his mom and kind of his sister have is the way that you would treat a child who has possible mental problems or has had trauma.
Yeah, everyone's worried.
It makes it kind of an uncomfortable watch in that way because nobody's being mean to him. They're all trying to be very understanding.
Well, they kind of, I feel like they kind of point to it like the dad's kind of absent. Like he says, I work long hours for this family.
Yeah.
And then he like goes to hide away because he doesn't want to hear his parents fighting.
I think we're supposed to think the parents are fighting. That is a mild, it's literally just the dad saying, what? Is he talking to somebody? Yeah, his name's Fuzzbucket. Fuzzbucket? Oh, man, I work long hours for this family. That's the level they're talking. And the kid is covering his ears with his hands like he's hearing his parents screaming at each other.
Yeah, I know. That was a shock when he said, I didn't want to hear you yelling. And I thought, oh, he's never been to my house. You got it easy, kid. Yeah, and then and then they get mad at him for some reason, and he decides he's not going to eat his dinner, and so he's left there all night in the dark. They don't even turn the light on. He's just sitting in the dining room with his food
because he didn't finish
there.
his dinner, right?
Yeah, and then his mom's like, "Oh, I'll take you up. I'll make you a sandwich." Like, not consistent at all. This kid's going to get away with murder.
Yeah, that's what bothered you the most about this movie is inconsistent parenting.
Yeah, that, seriously, that is what my mom would have been upset about. I wasn't allowed to watch You Can't Do That on Television because the kids were mean to the parents.
Yeah, well, also the parents were just shown as these ghoulish alcoholics who like vomit on plates and feed it to their children.
Yeah, but that wasn't what upset my mom. It was that the kids were rude.
Are we supposed to? Is this movie trying to make us wonder if Fuzzbucket is real?
That's my point. That's what I've been saying. Like, I think
You haven't, but keep going.
I have since the beginning. For the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been telling people on the street, what is the deal with this? So, I think that for the first 30 minutes, we're supposed to wonder until the reveal.
Okay.
But it's ruined by the intro with Eisner introducing Fuzzbucket as a real character. And I assume all the commercials leading up to this.
There's no way you could have sold this show with you wondering for that long if it was real, because how else would you sell this show? Showing this child shrieking with laughter with nothing around him.
Tonight on the Disney Sunday movie. Yeah, you're right. I mean, without seeing the actual thing at least once, who's going to tune in to this snooze?
Yeah.
By the way, they were not interested in reshoots because there is a scene where a boom mic just blasts into the frame.
Yes, it looks like somebody's shoe is coming through their ceiling.
Like I told Marlo, I said, watch this scene, and I said, watch, there's a black thing that comes up from the top, and then when she saw it, she looked back at me in horror, and she said, what is it? Like it was a ghost or something.
You said it's a demon.
Yeah, I said, now eat your dinner, or else that demon will come to your bed. No, but I was like, oh, it's the microphone, and she was like, oh. But it looks kind of scary when you notice it.
Is that what she said?
She just looked at me like,
oh,
what is that? And when I said it was the mic, it's literally what you said. She went, oh.
And the dad comes in. It's the what's the name of the character from Murphy Brown? This is pre-Murphy Brown. This actor,
Frank or something.
Yeah, sure, Frank. Yeah, sure, I think that's
he's
right.
a real Frank face.
He does. He has a great 80s face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great balding dad face.
Mm-hmm.
Sunken eyes, big butt, cleft chin, receding hairline.
He's got a Family Guy chin. That is his freaking chin.
I heard he put his script in his chin when he wasn't doing his lines.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Thank you for yes-anding me. So
I really leaned on that and there.
And the dad just kind of all the adults are so reasonable in this show.
Yes,
the dad's just
except for the principal.
Hey, I would even, when we get there, I would even argue the principal is fine with this kid. The dad's just kind of like, hey, you're getting older. You're kind of worrying us. Can't have an invisible friend anymore. He also really lays on the, hey, slugger. Hey, big guy. Hey, champ. I think he calls him some buddy name every other line.
You think there's a list of names on a wall and the guy's like, whenever we have a dad character, these are the freaking names we have to use for this kid. If you haven't gone through all of them, then you have not finished a dialogue.
I think they gave him a choice of what he could use. He's like, I'm going to do all of them.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll edit out the ones
choose.
that don't work.
They're all my babies.
I'm like a kid in a candy store.
So yeah, and then this is where it's revealed that he's starting junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also kind of supposed to be a stress point.
Yeah, I guess. There's no tension in this movie, so I would assume you're right.
And they live in the great like 80s neighborhood, like movie TV neighborhood, where
California.
Except like it's one of those where obviously they don't make any mention of where they are, but they frame the shot of the neighborhood when he's riding his bike off to school. And I just got back from LA And I always wonder, where are these neighborhoods at? Because when I was a kid, that's where I always wanted to live, in these like never ending like suburban, wonderlands. But like what I realized is that if he gets to the end of the street, it's probably like Sunset Boulevard or something. Like it's
probably.
Like, but in my mind as a kid, all those neighborhoods were like just sprawling, like, just never ending houses and convenience stores and high schools. It was just
like an Ohio cul-de-sac, but palm trees.
Right.
Everywhere.
Right. But no, he's right next to, an In-N-Out burger with 50 homeless dudes.
Right. Then comes one of the best parts of the show, which is an advertisement for Levi's 501 jeans.
Yeah. So I don't think that's included in the official HD re-release.
It should be.
But it is great. It's great.
It holds up. It still looks good. Has a great a cappella Bobby McFerrin song singing about jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And just that type of Bobby McFerrin songs.
But it's definitely not him. It's like a bluesy, like a white bluesy guy.
You think so?
I think so. But maybe.
I think it's him. I think that Bobby McFerrin was at the height of his selling
commercial
power. Yeah.
I'm about to look it up. How about that?
Okay.
Bobby McFerrin, 501. Now, this is something that if you are not watching it from the YouTube, this is a useless part of our website.
Now, are you going to look at Bobby McFerrin's albums and see if there's a track called 501 Jeans? 501.
It looks like he did do some 501 Jeans commercials, except he's in them and he's going zip, 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 zip. So I don't know if he did the one we watched, but
I would guess they would keep him afterwards for a track.
Yeah,
just doing Off the Dome.
Yeah,
there's a great commercial for Wendy's where you could get GoBots toys.
Yeah. I don't think we should zone in.
There's a disgusting squeeze bottle craft mayonnaise commercial where it shows them putting mayonnaise on a shrimp skewer, just revolting.
And also, don't forget the Shanghai chicken McNuggets.
Nathan, I'm not going to forget them. They had 3 unique Oriental sauces, and
Oriental
chopsticks. This is the pre-Mulan.
Did they come with chopsticks?
Yes. They did the same thing when Mulan came out, and they did the notorious Szechuan sauce as they gave you chopsticks. But this is when they introduced, Nathan, this is important because this is when they introduced hot mustard and sweet and sour sauce to their nugget line.
Gosh, I want chicken nuggets so bad right now.
I was actually wondering if chicken nuggets would taste as good if you had never had them as a kid, but I also think that McDonald's has them to such a science to what our primitive brains want that, they probably taste just as good whenever you don't grow up with them.
I mean, I think they were better when we were younger, but because they changed to like an all white meat thing or something. Before there was like what seemed to be dark meat. You loved that
gristle.
I am obsessed with gristle.
You always say, give me that neck.
If we could just change gears for a moment.
Yeah. Oh boy. Hunker down. Here comes gristle talk.
But man, I'm on a specific diet right now, and these freaking chicken nuggets in that commercial looked so
those ads
good.
Must have been killing you.
Oh my gosh. So Fuzzbucket, are we off of the commercial? Look, if you're gonna be following this podcast, you have to watch the YouTube version of this.
Yeah, I'll say one last thing. There's a commercial in this block for Pearl's Eye Vision, and this little kid who is cute, but he looks like one of those big eye paintings from the 70s. Do you remember this one that I'm talking about?
Yes.
He's sitting on the porch with an old hound dog and a jar with a frog. Could you understand what that kid was saying?
I don't know. I heard him say Pearl. I thought.
Yeah,
And
I
then
got that because we were also showing it on the screen. But this kid's just like, you got big ball, and my dad said, "Build the coop." Now I can't roll.
Very, this airs in like Tampa or something, right? Is that a local business?
Pearls?
Or is that a nationwide?
No, I remember Pearls being at like malls in Ohio.
Pearls.
I think it used to be a eyesight juggernaut, and now it's not so much. Like how lens crafters used to be a huge thing. So we go back to Fuzzbucket.
And he's on his way to school. He's walking into school. The assistant principal, I'm assuming, is telling everyone to stay to the left. He's about to go to the right of him, but he's forced to go to the left. Apparently no kids are allowed to walk on the right side of the principal.
Your other left, son.
Yeah. And I don't I get he's saying all enrollment, is to the left, but why can't the kids walk to the right of him to get to the left? He's creating a funnel. It's not very good.
This would be a great
strategy.
question whenever director and writer Mick Garris is at a D23 at some point.
Do you think that was in the script or they improvised that on the set?
I don't know. This is the part of the movie where we're introduced to the staff of the school that are all being introduced the way that you would introduce characters that will be in the plot later. And we get a lot of great character actors who I think are actually doing like good work, and we never see them again.
No, they are the most they're basically showing the kid up. Like they are stealing this whole movie. When I think about this movie, I think mostly of the old woman who's taking his name down.
Right. Well, I mean, as we all know, when you on your first day of school, you get into a long bread line, and you have to wait all day to go up and talk to one person about what your schedule will be like for the year.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. As a former teacher, I know that this is all bullcrap. I just have to say, I'm calling them out right now. The makers of Fuzzbucket, you're done.
Hey, guess what? Michael is not in the school ledger for some reason. That is never revealed why that is.
Nope.
He just slipped through the cracks. So he's sent to the principal's office so they can figure out where he's going to go. When he's waiting for his schedule, attractive young girl sits down next to him. They kind of have a moment where they're making eyes for each other. They obviously are have a cute little crush attraction happening. Mm-hmm. And then Fuzzbucket decides to tickle Michael. So Michael starts laughing hysterically in a way that's very uncomfortable for me to watch.
It's like when you tell a kid a joke and he wants to make fun of you about how bad the joke is. He laughs really super hard.
Sure.
And it's like, shut up, kid. And this, that's why now I'm on the principal's side. Cause he comes out, he's like, who's this jerk off kid doing a freaking pity laugh?
See, you're saying the principal is mean. I think the principal is being, stern. He's not mean to the kid. He is talking to this child as a child who looks like he's having a breakdown in the main office. And then he's kind of feeling out if this kid is nervous about school, if he's having problems at home.
I mean, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, he's a big, lovable teddy bear.
I think I have a soft spot also as the principal's played by actor John Vernon, who is also the sheriff in Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes. I love this guy. So he asks him if he's nervous, if he's laughing because he's nervous because he'll have to take showers in gym class. Did you have to do that?
No, because I was homeschooled up until high school.
Okay.
And then in high school, I just took gym courses that definitely would not require showering, like archery.
Yeah, but you still had to, we would have archery for half of the year, and then the other half, or half of the semester, and then the other half would be the exercise part of it.
I never had to do that.
Really?
I just took non-physical PE classes.
We we had showers and no one ever took them, and we were never forced to. But my dad told me that he had to.
Yes, that is now I think it's been a thing for a while. Like you can't make a child shower with other children. As well, you should not be able to do that. Nor
weird.
should there be adults going into the locker room with new students.
Gosh.
It's crazy that was ever a thing.
Yeah. I remember they would even make us, like, for a while, like, it was required that we were supposed to wear jock straps.
Okay.
And I had one and I didn't know how to wear it.
So you put it on your head?
Yeah. Hey coach, is this it? No, I had, and I think I lost it. And then it was like, I'm not getting another one of those.
Yeah. Is a jockstrap just a thing to protect your balls?
Like, yeah, you're supposed to put a cup in it. Otherwise, it's not a thing to protect your balls. It's just another piece of clothing. But if you put a cup in it, then it protects your balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And I didn't have a cup, so I don't know why we had to have one. This is weird. Now I feel violated.
How many kids were just getting punched in the balls during gym class?
Well, all the dodgeball, I'm sure.
Did you play dodgeball?
Not professionally.
Oh, okay. That is what I was asking.
Yeah, okay.
Is were you on the circuit?
We played in class every once in a while, you know. That was like supposed to be a fun day.
Yeah, it looked like a scream.
It absolutely was.
This scene, I will say, this scene could have been done in 30 seconds and goes on for what seems like 5 minutes.
It's brutal. Like, there's so much setup for no payoff in this freaking movie.
Yeah. Because we're waiting to see Fuzzbucket. He's telling his principal, he breaks in, he says, "Oh, I saw Fuzzbucket." He's like, "Oh, Fuzzbucket." He's like, "I'm kidding. I am nervous. I don't want to take showers with the other boys." And he's like, "Okay, well, everything will be fine." So it all amounts to nothing.
Where do they go from here? Because I'm just...
We go to the kitchen after school.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, now this is an important thing where I would say that in the logic of this movie, it would make more sense that Fuzzbucket is from this child's imagination because he can't see Fuzzbucket. He's never seen Fuzzbucket. When his dad asks him what Fuzzbucket looks like, he says, "I don't know. He's invisible."
Yeah.
But he can apparently hear Fuzzbucket talk, and he's the only one who can hear him talk.
Right. I don't understand. Why is his voice invisible too?
But not to the child.
Right. What? Right. So why are Fuzzbuckets, the family of Fuzzbuckets, are they only viewable to one child or children in general? Or
well, it's about to get really not explained in a minute because apparently Fuzzbucket has told Michael to make some kind of disgusting food concoction where he's taken a little bit of everything in the kitchen, thrown it in a blender, and then there's some mystery ingredient that's very clearly cotton candy, but we're supposed to think it's space goop or something. And Michael goes, "Where did this come from? Who knows? It's never mentioned again." He throws it in the blender. The blender starts glowing. He puts it in a jar. They go into the tree house. He hands it to Fuzzbucket. We get the one special effect where we get a floating jar. Mm-hmm. Fuzzbucket then drinks the potion. And then is this the scene you're talking about?
This is
the $1 million special effects scene.
This scene is a nightmare scene. Because they build, okay, so normally like, you would drink something and then normally like they would just appear kind of like, "Oh my gosh," and we'd be looking at his hands like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not invisible anymore." Instead, they build the body. First you start to see his skeleton, his full skeleton, which is horrifying. Then, okay, they don't go straight to the skin. Then you start seeing blood vessels. And like
his eyeballs,
organs and stuff. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Until he finally appears. But it's like he's unmelting.
It is a budget version of in the movie Sleepy Hollow when Christopher Walken puts his skull head back on and all his muscles and ligaments start growing onto his skull to put his face back. It's like that, but in stages.
How does Fuzzbucket know that you can make this potion and it turns him visible? Because he acts like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm now visible.
Hooray, I'm visible, right. He's kind of also acting like he's never been visible.
Right.
There's no explanation. He immediately... Well, first of all, Fuzzbucket isn't, as you were saying before, isn't speaking in full senses. He's going like...
He's going, Paul, put Paul down. Paul. Hey, Paul. And he's like saying just like some words like, draw. Like
it's
he's saying
really
some
uncomfortable. Words. He knocks the kid over. He wants a crayon so he can trace his hand. And then immediately, of course, since he is finally visible, he's finally in corporal form, he immediately demands to watch cartoons on television and sit and do nothing.
Tunes.
And I know we've said it before, but it's worth repeating. This... It is the thing that people could point to. We're big fans of practical effects in movies. Mm-hmm. We're not against CGI, but it's like if it looks fake, it looks fake. This is kind of what people could point to when they would say, well, if we don't use CGI, would you want it to look like this? This is a makeup job where not only does it look like a sweaty hedgehog, but it is a sweaty hedgehog, and you clearly see the makeup around the act. You see the actor's eyes peering out from this latex mask.
It's like if Rizzo the rat from the Muppets, if someone were able to blow him up, but not like remake the outfit so that it would fit. They just took the original Rizzo the Rat puppet and just blew it up.
Right. And then took a piece of pizza and smeared the grease all over it. Oh, also it has a nude possum tail. The grossest tail you can give something.
I know. And okay, so he watches TV and then he falls asleep and then he wakes up at 6:00 and he realizes, oh no, I need to get back or I will be invisible forever. I couldn't tell if he would be invisible forever.
He says, I'll poof.
Yeah, I'll poof.
I'll poof and I won't come back, which I'm assuming means invisible.
So this is like how many
That's
days?
all the backstory we get.
How many days? So, I mean, presumably he did not write this script it didn't take longer than a week.
This was an afternoon. Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that at least 4 or 5 of those days were him trying to struggle to figure out how do we end this movie? And then he happened to be walking in the Disney offices and saw Cinderella on the poster and he was like, that's it. If he's not back by midnight, he'll poof forever.
He's acting like I couldn't tell when he was supposed to get back. Because, okay, so it's after school, so it's probably like 3:00. So you figure he gets visible. They watch TV for 3 hours, and now he's panicking because he needs to get back to the swamp, which is his home.
And he's Dead Man's Marsh or something.
Yes.
And he's trying to say, what time is it? And he's saying, how much clocks? How much clocks?
Clocks.
And so he runs away, but then the boy's like, I have to follow him. There's no way. So he goes to follow him, and but the parents are like, wait, I need you to set the table because we're going to get dinner. We're picking up pizza and spaghetti.
So weird.
Why would you
just say pizza?
This was written by someone who's never had a meal at home. Yes, why would you get both of those? Is there
That was never even a thing in the 80s when McDonald's served spaghetti for a minute.
Right. Right. Because they had it.
I'm really tired. Should we just order something? Yeah. Spaghetti? Yeah. Big bowl of spaghetti. Get that delivered, please.
And there is by the way, if you're interested in the YouTube version, there is a delicious looking Pizza Hut commercial that is like when I say pizza should taste a certain way, I think of this pizza from Pizza Hut in the 80s.
Watching this was like Satan tempting Christ in the desert for you, wasn't it?
God.
Just these visions of food in front of you.
A 20-piece nugget and a personal pan pizza right now. Oh my gosh.
That's your Sodom and Gomorrah.
And just to get a couple stickers for my Book It Club. You kidding me?
Yeah. So immediately, imagine being a kid and watching this. Well, I guess you did have a kid watching it. As soon as Fuzzbucket becomes visible, which is presumably why you're watching this movie, he then immediately leaves and runs away.
They watch TV. He falls asleep. He runs away. And then the rest of the movie is like, this is what I at this point on my notes, I actually wrote, this movie has nothing happening in it. Like there's nothing, like he's like, I thought he was following him, but no, he's like just running down the sidewalk, chasing after nothing.
I guess Fuzzbucket got a real head start. Yeah, because it looks like he's just... Oh, no, he does catch up to him. Remember? Whenever...
Well, yeah, in the dumpster.
Fuzzbucket, for some reason, dresses up as a hobo for 2 seconds, just for, I guess, like, a visual gag.
I was thinking that, he was in the dumpster, and when he came out, all the trash was on him, and in the trash was those clothes.
Oh.
I don't know.
God.
There's a rat on his tail?
Yeah, a rat's biting his tail. Okay, so the rest of this movie, which this has to be a good 20 minutes plus, right, is just...
it's the last half.
It's just Michael looking for Fuzzbucket, not running into people or getting into adventures. He's just walking. And then you see his parents looking for him.
Literally nothing happens. Like it is like
nothing happens.
Fuzzbucket is somehow he gets in the post office box.
I guess he can't have people see him. I don't know. We're never told why that's bad. There's no bad guy in this movie, by the way. There's no villain.
No.
Because normally this is where
Eisner
a wacky
maybe.
villain would like a bad scientist would see Fuzzbucket and be like, I need that for my experiments, right? Like, and then he chases after him with a net.
No, this is like
there's no conflict, just internal conflict.
And then he finds him in a hole in the ground in the marsh, and there's a whole family of Fuzzbuckets.
Are we going to skip the monologue he has in the pine tree where he says, Fuzzbucket?
Oh, that's right.
I love you.
Oh.
And he does the Harry and the Henderson speech where he's like, I hate you, Fuzzbucket. Don't come crying to me.
Yeah, he says, I
forever.
He goes, you know what? You are fake. You are imaginary.
Yeah.
I don't believe in you. And then he falls in the hole and his whole family's there. And
right. That, of course, would really upset the audience because the audience by this point loves Fuzzbucket because they've seen Fuzzbucket drink something out of a jar and humiliate a child in front of his girl.
And watch cartoons and fall asleep.
Yes, and watch television.
Yeah, he hasn't even done...
Fuzzbucket has done nothing funny. There's done nothing
more
endearing.
Interesting stuff happening before Fuzzbucket appears.
Right.
Like this is actually like a coming of age story. And then Fuzzbucket appears and this movie goes off the rails.
Suddenly there's like 5 other Fuzzbuckets which all stay in the shadows. We never get a real good look at these other Fuzzbucket costumes, making me think these are not finished pieces.
And how many do they name? I know there's one named Stinky.
Stinky.
And then is there another name? Like, are there any of the other?
No, they're just Fuzzbuckets.
Oh my gosh. So then they both tell each other they love each other and they kiss or something, like, right?
Yes, which makes Stinky recoil in disgust.
And Stinky's
as did I.
Right.
Yeah.
Stinky's right.
I was a
this
Stinky
is
at that moment.
interspecies love. This is like borderline bestiality.
There. Okay, that's maybe going a little far.
No. There. I would like to see what's on the cutting room floor.
Oh, so the parents are going crazy. There's a neighborhood search party combing the swamp.
No one can find him except some rando who's
yes.
Wait a second. What's this?
It's a child.
There's something in these bushes. And I don't know why he knows that, because he's sleeping. So there's not any movement or anything. It's almost like as if he knew the kid was there all along and he was just waiting to be the guy to find him because he wanted to be on the news.
You think this is like a How I Made a Murder situation?
Yeah.
This is like the guy in the scrapyard who found all that evidence a little too conveniently.
Exactly.
Huh. That's interesting.
So yeah, they find him, they bring him home, and this is where it gets weird. So
this is where it gets weird.
They decide the parents are tired because they've found the kid and they've been up all night. So they go into the bedroom to go to sleep. And while they're in there, they see two presents on there. one's like on the drawer and one's by the lamp. And they both, they go, what's this? And they both open them. And it's some, like she has, like the mother has a present that's like a little music box.
Yeah.
And the father has a present that looks like one of those really big Hershey Kisses.
I thought the same thing. There's no close up of what they've been given.
They just look at each other like
there's no preamble beforehand. Be like, my music box is still broken. You said that you'd fix it, honey. I work long hours. Like that's all you need to do to establish something.
It is just that they look at each other and it's DTF. It's like they both like, oh, like no one says, "Did you get this for me?" It's just. They look at each other and they assume that they got each other the most precious gift in the world, and now their marriage is saved, and it's time to have another kid.
The moral is clear: if your parents are fighting, run away from home.
Yeah, and then
we'll bring them back together.
It's revealed that it's Fuzzbucket who put the presents there because you see his footprints. But again,
we see his disgusting, dirty footprints on their carpet, and then you see his little possum butt running away in the lawn.
It's like when you see the footprints in Paranormal Activity. That's what it looks like. And then, yeah, but there's no like beforehand where they're like where she's like, when I was a child, my father bought me this music box, and I've lost it. Like, I don't even know.
And he's not saying, I always think back to that tour of the Hershey factory. What if those little kisses were big? What else could it have been? A bell? At first I thought it was a bell, and I was like, is that a Hershey's kiss?
That's what I thought. And then I thought, well, maybe it's like a bottle of cologne or something. Like a bottle of musk. That's what Dad's like.
These are all bad options.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, this movie sucks. I'm sorry. I have a high tolerance for 80s, especially kind of Disney stuff like TV, but this just sucked.
I'm shocked to hear you say that because I thought for sure that I was going to be yelling at you because you said that you liked it.
No, I liked it. The first half of the movie I liked. And I want this movie to be about this kid and him going to junior high and having to deal with bullies and liking girls, and that's what I want this movie to be about. How is there no bully
character in this movie?
Well, I guess it's his sister, Robin Lively.
But they even set it up. He's biking to school and he says, "And bullies steal your lunch money." And I was like, "Oh, okay, there's gonna be a bully who are you talking to, freak?"
Oh, yeah. Hey, Fuzzbucket. Hey, Fuzzbucket.
Up your nose.
There's nothing, and gosh, yeah, this movie sucks. Sorry, I give this movie 0 species.
This movie is terrible. There's basically nothing redeeming about it. Yeah, like you said, the school stuff, I could see that turning into fun cheese, but man, ending of this, the last half of this movie is such a crawl through the desert.
Through the marsh.
I mean, I guess we should say the guy who played Fuzzbucket went on to play Greaser Greg in the Garbage Pail Kids movie. And the troll in Troll.
This guy had a real
type.
Yes. Yeah. Was he in anything else? Wasn't he in like
he's in
Willow
a lot.
or something?
He's in yes. He was a Ewok in Return of the Jedi. He's in Willow. He does voice acting in a lot of stuff, actually.
But he was not the voice of Fuzzbucket. Do you think it's like Star Wars where they actually recorded his voice, like Darth Vader, and then when he sees the movie, it's Hal Smith, like James Earl Jones? You're like, what the heck? I did all this voice work.
He's in cartoons, so I think it's probably just the voice.
Tunes.
Looks like he had a Tunes. Looks like he had a reoccurring role in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
What was he, the cat?
Yeah, he was the cat in the full shots when the cat's running around.
Yeah, he's running in a big cat suit.
He plays Roland. I'm going to look up a picture of it now. Oh, he's a leprechaun. Cool. He must have been thrilled.
Well, I'm happy to say that this episode is now over. This just depressed me, this movie.
I was looking forward to seeing it because with this title, how could it lose? Lost big.
I had high expectations after the Eisner intro. So
yes.
In a way, what he did was the most effective part of the movie.
He knew the only way he could salvage this sinking ship would be to turn on every comedy faucet he had in his body.
I'm more interested in maybe a Fuzzbucket Mickey Mouse buddy movie.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe at some point they jump into a movie screen and they're cartoons and it's the Mickey Mouse cartoon and then it's a cartoon version of Fuzzbucket. I would love to see a cartoon version of Fuzzbucket.
Of this disgusting creature, sure.
It'd probably be like, I've got nothing, just delete that. I had something there.
That joke, much like the movie, goes up the ramp, then the ramp disappears underneath you.
We will edit this. I refuse.
Nope.
To have any moment where I'm not getting 100% of the laughs.
Oof. Should people watch this? Should anyone sit through this?
No.
Okay.
Just go on YouTube, watch the intro from Eisner.
I totally agree.
And then watch the cartoon. Skip to the commercials.
Yes. Watch the intro. Watch the great 501 ad.
Yes. The Shanghai chicken nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
The Tone soap ad. The Tone soap had more of a plot than this movie did.
It's surprising how bad this movie is because the guy who wrote and directed it, Mick Garris, who apparently is like this known figure in horror movie circles.
Now I know why he looks like that.
He did the script for Hocus Pocus. He did the script for The Fly 2, a bunch of Amazing Stories episodes. Story for Batteries Not Included. Oh, he did the script for Michael Jackson's Ghosts. Now we're talking our language.
I can't wait to hear all the people who see Hocus Pocus, all the big huge Hocus Pocus fans looking for revivals, just skipping through the IMDb of the writer and going, "Oh, what's this Fuzzbucket? I wonder if that's as good as Hocus Pocus."
Honey, get in here.
It's on Disney Plus. Perfect. Oh, man.
All right. We got through it.
Yeah. Here's to the next episode, which we got to choose something better.
No, I refuse.
Okay. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.